Welcome back. We are, of course, having a number of discussions at the African Insurance Exchange here at Sun City in the Northwest. It is day 2, and it's amazing the range of issues that has come up over the course of these 2 days. One of them has to do with how one fuses the commercial with the humanitarian. And that's an issue that's come up very strongly in the last couple of days. And one of the delegates who wants to talk specifically to that is Ms. Linah Mabena, CEO of Standard Bank Insurance Brokers. So my first question to you is, I've spoken about the humanitarian and the commercial. We don't always see those come together very well. And yet there's been a really strong feeling at this conference that there must be a merger of the two in order to make society succeed in the future.
Thank you so much for that question. And at the back of the theme this year, the conference theme being around collaboration, cultivating and creating, it links so well to that. We actually had a very well-known Dr. Suleiman talking to us about the very same issues because we don't operate in a vacuum, right? And I think as an industry, we need to just pause and look around us. And that was actually the challenge. How do we just pause, look around us, and really start collaborating? And the theme speaks so well to that point. How do we collaborate as an industry so that we start addressing some of the societal issues? There's so much poverty around us. There's so much illiteracy around us. At the back, just to flip the script, issues around illiteracy. How do we, as an industry, collaborate and really start coming up with programs that will address some of those issues? It is not a government issue, right? And it's very easy to outsource the problem. But I think the challenge is really, and really linking it to the theme of the conference, collaborating as an industry and coming up with real, tangible projects that can really start addressing some of the issues that we're facing as a country.
So, Linah, yesterday you were also at a literacy lunch, and apart from Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, who was there was also our former Deputy President, Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, there was the head of the Buku Foundation, Ms. Eleanor Sisulu, all quite important people in terms of the literacy landscape. What is your, as a brand, what is your reason for wanting to be so involved in the literacy space?
And again, thank you. Linking it to the conference, right? The issues around illiteracy that we're dealing with, they actually are so close to the work that we do as an industry. Because if we don't address some of these issues, we're actually creating a problem for ourselves. Because they do have a spin-off effect. And really the issues that we're dealing with today around the increased rate of crime, the fact that you have people that actually unemployable because they don't have the right skills. The fact that you have kids that can't read for meaning. It's a concern, and it's a concern that is, again, challenging all of us to say, if we don't actually go out and invest in this, we are going to find ourselves in a bit of a challenge because it's kind of a leaking bucket, right? You have all the people that are already in the system, but how do we make sure that as those people exit the system, you have new people coming up? And it goes back to exactly that, investing in education, investing in literacy, and making sure that you actually take it a bit further. We have employees today in our organization, and we all know that the skills of today will not be relevant in the future. So as Standard Bank Insurance Brokers, we're really passionate about investing in our people because, as they say, charity begins at home, making sure that we empower our people with the relevant skills for the future. And that is why partnering with a company like the Graduate Institute of Financial Services is so key, because we want to make sure that we really empower our people and get them ready for those future-ready skills, so that when we exit the system, they can take those positions. But at the very same time, we need to go back the discussion yesterday around how do we, again, challenging the industry, how do we contribute and really make sure that we take this issue serious. Again, we can't outsource it. We know the challenges with our education system. How do we actually assist the government and the process and organizations that are really, really passionate about driving and really improving and changing the narrative, because it's about changing the narrative, so that we have future leaders, because if we don't, unfortunately, it will come back to this industry. High crime rates mean more claims, means you pay more, and actually it's a vicious cycle. So we can't outsource it. We have to be part of this initiative.
And Linah, of course, you're taking this a step further with your digitalization, which Standard Bank really seems committed to. I mean, I've been noticing at your stand and in several other areas, you're focusing strongly on this. Just give us a sense of why you're so determined to move forward with digitization.
Thank you so much. Digital is the future. And COVID has actually challenged all of us. It's no longer just one of the goals that you talk about and do nothing about. It's a must. And we are really, really passionate about investing in digital solutions for the future. But not only that, actually we do run an academy where we take young and upcoming young people and really teaching them coding, simple coding, right? And what that has done actually has created opportunities that we never thought of in the business. They're coming up with simple solutions around automating some of the inefficient processes. What that is actually doing is freeing up capacity in the front line. So you have the frontline staff being able to spend more time with customers and having meaningful conversations. And these young and upcoming people at the back really looking at ways of improving efficiencies. And you're absolutely right. Pepper is absolutely fantastic. And the reason why we brought Pepper is to really showcase the investment, right? And how deliberate and intentional we are about really taking businesses to the future. But also, I think for me, it's really creating opportunities for young people, but also opening up that tap for new skills. Because if you asked me about digital before COVID, I would have said, yeah, it's probably one of the strategic intent. We're doing something about it. But the work that we were able to do at the advent of COVID, we decided we're not going to let that go to waste. How do we take that and take it forward? But how do we actually start building another pool of new skills, which are going to be future-ready skills? And to link it back to the discussion earlier, we're also taking some of our employees along. So this automation academy, we call it, it's really also open to existing employees that are keen to learn new skills, and we're taking them along the process.
Well, the very best of luck with all your efforts, Linah, and thank you so much for speaking to us today.